You can drop it in a little bit of vinegar and it'll melt it. You can't run over it with a truck. You can't put it in the flame. You can't hit it with a hammer and destroy what that pearl's got in it. But you can take care of it with goodness. I understand the kind of battles I had. No, you just don't even know what kind of battles I fought. But I can tell you that of every battle I fought, I got a pearl. Every single one of them have a pearl. It's like the pearls that I handed you. You look down at this, and of course these are not real pearls. They're for an example. You're holding these pearls in your hand. And you look at these pearls and you think to yourself, that's just a little tiny bead. It wasn't a little tiny bead to that oyster that made it. Are you an oyster? I am. I have a mantle. I'm a living creature. And when something gets against my mantle, God has given me and put inside me what it takes to turn that pain into a pearl. How many times this week has somebody in this church right now said, God, I don't know what to do about this? How many times have you said that? How many times have you looked around you at the irritants bumping up against your mantle? How many times have you looked around at the things that were coming up against you? Things that look so big that they could bust down the walls around where you call your safety.
Come on.
How many times have you seen them this week? I've seen them today. I have. Today. I woke up this morning having one of the worst episodes I've had in a while. The doctor tells me, notice how I put that I have familial hemiplegic migraines. They don't hurt. I wish they did, because they wouldn't act the other way. But it makes me act like a stroke patient. Can't see, can't talk. And when I do talk, it makes no sense. My fingers go numb, my face goes numb, my legs go numb. And all I can do is sit there and pray until I can see again. I had one of them stupid things this morning. Got mad, because I'm human and I can do that. I am fallible, carnality and flesh, but I am covered by the blood, given a mantle of anointing to do what God has bid me to do. But it still scares you might not to your own grave when you realize in a matter of 15 seconds you went from perfectly normal and happy to can't see, can't hear, and can't feel. The devil spoke to me and said, don't you dare go tonight. You'll have one while you're up there. I won't even go there. God didn't call me to run in fear. I ain't scared of a whole lot. Headache is one of them, but not much. You see, that's my little irritant that's bumping up against my mantle. And I knew that God had something to hand to somebody tonight, because I'm sitting here from 5:30 this morning until after 10:30 because those stupid things knocked me slap out. And I was out by 8 o'clock. I mean, just comatose until after 10:30. And then I felt like I wrung out rag for the rest of the day. And I'm sitting there and I'm walking around and I'm in a haze, can't figure out what I'm doing, where everything's at, can't talk, confused out of my mind. And I suddenly realized this is my grain of sand. See, what the devil thought he was going to use to stop me, he just catapulted me right into my vision. Brother Charlie, you got a pearl forming inside you. Brother Gary, there's a pearl forming inside you. We've all got irritations. And I'm going to call you Carolyn, and I know that's not your name. It starts with a C, I know that. But you've got a pearl forming inside you. You've got a pearl forming inside you. You know, I got to looking at the things that set aside the importance of a pearl and what makes it priceless and what makes it not so priceless. First thing that they look for in a priceless pearl, it's color. Did you know that if they pick up a pearl, and no matter what color that pearl is, if the dominant way the light hits it is ivory and red? Let me say that one more time. Come on, somebody needs to feel this. Ivory and red.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
If that pearl has ivory and red in it, then it's considered of high quality. Ooh, I feel a little spell coming on. The next thing they look for is the way the light hits it. If the light hits a pearl and it don't reflect that light, they toss it in a bucket. So you see, you as that pearl creator, you've got that thing inside your mantle that's irritating you, and you decide that you're not going to let the devil keep irritating you with it. What you're going to do is you're going to put that thing, set it right there on the top of your mantle or your anointing, and you're going to start building something out of this. Because let me tell you something right now. Everybody that's ever fought the devil came out of that battle with something in their possession that reminds the devil, don't mess with me again. I walk around with a big pearl in my hip pocket. I fought the devil so much. And you know what? I ain't no different than nobody else. Please don't think I am, because I'm not. I know people fought bigger battles than I have. But when you got a calling on your life, you don't get to fight these little bitty devils one at a time. And I've said this recently. I talked to my mom. I said, Mom, I don't get it. How come it is I have to fight these great big giant devils 15 at a time, while everybody else around me is fighting one little peanut butter and jelly devil? I'm dealing with rabid pit bulls. This ain't cool. And Mama looked at me and she said, because to whom much is given, much is required. You ever seen that oyster that had 4 or 5 pearls in it? Bless its heart. I'm telling you. I felt at times I was getting smacked upside my head. Not with 1 grain of sand, but with a bucket of it. I lived in a coastal state for a while. And while I was living there, I learned something about the wind and about sand. It hurts. You're cutting down the road, and you're riding down the road, and then I ride a little scooter bike sometimes, and I'm cutting down there on the coast, and you're riding down that road, and as you're going down that road, the wind will blow off that water, pick up a handful of that sand, you'll pick that stuff out of your hair before you get to where you're going. I'd get on my little bike, and I'd go off to church. I'd get to church looking like somebody done scared me, picking sand out of my ears and out of my teeth, pulling it out of the rims of my glasses. I was covered in it. And it irritates, especially when you get it in your shoe. One little tiny grain of sand in your shoe feels like you're walking around on a golf ball. But you see, the point is that through everything that God lets you go through, and sometimes He does. You know, He's that pearl farmer. And those pearls, those farmers, those oysters that He can't use, He casts them to the ground. What purpose do they serve Him? Those that He can use. And this is something that I really got to thinking about, and I thought, oh God, how many times has my shell been cracked? Y'all can laugh. It's funny. I got a cracked shell most of the time. But I learned that when that pearl farmer is ready to harvest that pearl or pearls, depending on what's got inside that shell, that he knows exactly how to break that shell. Come on, people. He knows exactly how to break that shell to get to those pearls, but still leave that oyster to where it can produce again. Jesus, come on now. That's how the pearl farmer is. I've had a cracked shell many times. But when he cracks that shell, he cracks it in just a way that he can get that pearl out of there. See, that merchant knew that. He knew. The Bible says he walked out into a field. Please do not think for a minute that he walked out into a field and found a pearl. Come on. It just appeared in a field. Please, they are a saltwater creature. Sometimes freshwater, but mostly saltwater. The more valuable ones are saltwater. Sometimes God will put you in such a place, even in the middle of a field, to where all you have is that one thing that's irritating the daylights out of you, and He'll take that one thing and He'll work you over with it, and then He'll crack that shell, and when He gets through cracking that shell, it's that one priceless gem that's inside you. I dare somebody go, "Yea, Lord." Amen. You see, that's what it is. Brother Roy was trying to relay years ago when he said that merchant went out. And even he said in his book, he said, it was a goodly pearl. He gave all that he had for it. Because
Come on.
every battle you have fought, every devil you have danced with, everything that you have went through in your life has created an irritant in your anointing and in your mantle. And as you begin to create that covering and layer in it through prayer and through communion with God, outside of you and outside of that battle will come a pearl that the fire can't touch, that the enemy can't get a hold of. And God takes everything He is at your worth and gives it for it because He saw fit for you to make it. If you got a battle going on in your life, cover it with prayer. Because as long as you're covering it in prayer, sometime in the future, sometime close, that pearl farmer is going to come along and he's going to crack that shell. That one thing that's kept you from letting that goodly pearl out. That one thing that's kept you from letting that anointing flow. And when he does and that pearl comes out, somebody's going to come along and they're going to find what's inside you and they're going to bring more with them and tell them, let me tell you what I'm finding in this field. There ain't a devil in hell that can take your pearl away from you. He don't carry around the pocket of bitterness. He carries around flame, and a pearl won't bow to a flame. If you've got pain in your life, hold your hand up. Just do like that if you got pain. You don't have to be physical pain. It can be spiritual pain. It can be emotional pain. Do you understand what's forming inside of you?
Oh, yes, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
I go through battles all the time. I don't never get the victory. Dig a little deeper inside.
Yes, Lord.
There was places in the Bible where a mantle would fall from one and the Lord would let another pick it up. There's even one scripture in the Bible where it talks about the man praying and he said, God, let his mantle fall to me. And the Lord said, if you see it fall, it's yours.
Yes.
He had to see it fall. And when he saw it fall, he said, when you see it fall, it belongs to you. And he made sure he stayed on that old man's ground because he wanted what he had. But let me tell you something. He knew what he had went through for that mantle to be what it was. He knew what it had been through. And he stayed on his heels, let me tell you. And it wasn't long before that mantle fell. And guess what, good boy? This good old boy, he said, oh, that's mine. And it takes off running. As he's jerking his off, he's reaching for the other one. And when he gets a hold of his, he tore up his own because he knew that something inside that mantle that he was about to wrap around his shoulders had a little bit more to it.
Amen.
That's right.
Glory.
What do you got inside you? You got a grain of sand? You got bitterness? Or are you taking everything that the devil intended to destroy you with? Are you taking... Don't you know the devil's done tried to dig your grave? I tell you what, he might can dig mine if he wants to, just because he's digging the hole don't mean I'm going to step in it.
That's right.
My God. The pearl farmer. Look at this rugged looking thing right here. When I was out there on the streets in the worst sin, I was a professional sinner. Oh, honey, you just don't know. What I did right, and I did good. God looked inside me and he said, you know what? I don't care what that shell looks like. You ever seen an oyster shell? They are ugly. Woo, Jesus. Ugly things. Makes only mom could love. God looked at me when I was out in that world and out in that sin. And he saw me. And you know, he said, you know, it might be ugly on the outside right now. But I'm going to put a pearl in that. I'm going to put a grain of sand inside that. And let me tell you, when I found my grain of sand, it was on New Year's Eve. And that thing got to irritate me. And I started praying. I was a sinner. I started praying. Long about the 4th of January. 4 days. He's 4 days late. He's still on time. 4 days. I went purple for me, that's just because I am who I am and I'm a nut, and it's all right. I'm not being a nut for Jesus, you know? There's a pearl. I have birthed pearls. I have birthed pearls from inside me when I was standing there screaming, God, I ain't fighting no more. If you want the battle fought, you fight it. I'm tired. It was long about 3 minutes after that, this old girl started to dance. I was listening to a song on the TV on YouTube. It was an old Nealon song. Save me, I can't think of the name of it now. And I got to moving. All of a sudden, I'd been listening to that song for hours, and all of a sudden it started making sense. Because that grain of sand, or bucket of, wasn't irritating me anymore. Because God had given me what it took to start turning that thing. You see, your battles, they don't break you. Your battles give you strength. Your battles leave you a remembrance of what it is that's created the pearl that you're going to give birth to.
Come on.
Because at some point in your walk with God, you're going to be you're going to be in some murky water. It's true. That kind of water you can't get me in. If I can't see the bottom, I ain't getting in it. I don't do spiders, I don't do snakes, and I ain't messing with nothing that's going to bite me where I can't see it. I ain't getting in no water that I can't see the bottom of. But in your spiritual walk, there's going to be a time you're in some murky water. You're going to be in a place, maybe even in the outside of a field somewhere. You're going to be out there and you're going to be wondering, God, what are you doing? I'm asking, God, what are you doing to me? I don't get it. You tell me I'm going to be one place, and then I go to the next, and then you put me over here, and you put me over there, and I don't understand. And that's when God speaks to me, and He says, every pearl ain't white. Let me dumb that up for you a little bit. I had to. For me, I thought that don't make sense. It's because every pearl is not the same color. That means it didn't come from the same oyster. That means it's not coming from the same waters or the same fields. That means that some pearls have got a little bit more covering inside them. That means some pearls has got a little bit more going around them than what the other ones may have to have. Because whereas you might fight a 4-month battle with the devil of something over here, this sister or brother over here may be fighting a 6-year devil with something that's trying to take their life, something that's trying to destroy their family, something that's trying to take everything that they are. And then the Lord says, let me tell you something. When I pull you out of that shell I'm about to break, you're going to stand out amongst the other ones. They're going to know where you came from. They're going to know what you're made out of. Because when I create you, nobody can change what I do. I'm a pearl. I got pearls in my pockets. I got pearls on my dresser. I got a bookshelf full of pearls. Most of them look like this right here.
Amen.
This don't mean a whole lot to nobody. Let me tell you something. That's not something I take lightly. That right there was a gift to me. I have stood when I felt like my world was crumbling in the last few weeks. Randomly picked up a book that a man wrote his thoughts in the Word of God the way God gave it to him down in. And I have wept with the knowledge that God was giving me something special that would see me through whatever it was I was going through. The message that God has brought to you tonight came from this book. I said it that way because it's not something I take lightly. Sister Charmaine, it's not. I don't take my calling lightly. I have a reverent fear of my calling. Because when God told me, I'm about to put you somewhere you never saw coming, the flesh in me said, oh no. Oh God, you're going to show me now, because if you don't, it's going to scare me. God gives me visions, dreams. I wake up quoting words that I've read in these books. I hear myself. Because the pearl of another. Listen to me. It's not always your pearl that blesses you. These were not my pearls. These were the pearls of a man who's done with his reward. but they have become mine. Because this man was gracious enough and wise enough to write down the things that God had shown him and given him. These sermons did not come out of a man who had not fought battles. These sermons did not come from a man who had not been in the murky water. These sermons did not come from a man who walked a perfect road, lived in a perfect house, and lived a perfect life. These words came from a man who knew what the battle was. He knew what it was like to stand in the face of the devil and say, come on and bring it.
Amen. Yes, Lord.
His pain became my pearls. It's like Sister Lola Gale blessed me tonight. She said, I got to tell y'all something. And gave me a testimony, and in her testimony, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you don't even know what the devil's been trying to do to me. But through the testimony you gave me, I have hope.
Yes, amen.
Roy Bowen's pain, my pearls. My pain. My daughter, she sits right there. She says, Mama, what's my calling? I honestly don't know. I know that kid's got more wisdom. And she's got more spiritual discernment than a lot of pastors I know. And that girl right there can walk into a store and she'll scare you with what she knows about people in that store. Turn around, turn sheet white. Mom, there's a man in here. He worships the devil. He's wearing this, 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 and this. You need to pray for him. And I'm looking around and I'm not seeing a thing. And just as sure as I'm sitting in that store, I'll round the corner and nearly walk face first into the one she perfectly described. Maybe I don't know her calling. But I know that the Lord takes and He says that the things that He gives to you is for your children and your children's children. And that He won't let that go amiss. And I know that God gave my grandmother the ability to play guitar. My mother can play guitar and bass and piano and organ. I ain't even gonna try to tell you what all I can play. I ain't got all that. Because for every time He moves that blessing forward in the generations, He adds something to it. Now I'm a preacher. I'm a teacher, a singer, a musician. And I can read your mail to you when my prayer life's where it needs to be. This one right here is one I've got. She can tell you what to look like. She's scary sometimes. She ever looks at you and says, I need to tell you something God showed me, you better hold on tight. Because it's about to get real. Just remember that what you're going through to form that pearl inside you won't only bless you. There's a number of people in here tonight, and these pearls have blessed everybody in here. Remember that the pearl farmer knows when you're ready. He knows what it takes to crack that shell just enough to still leave you productive. If your pearl is black or red or white, how do you think the purple ones? Strange. That's because just like you are Charlene, you are little Gail, you are Sister Carol, I can never remember your name. Your brother Charlie and Sister Judy, Brother Gary. According to science, not one pearl is the same as the next one. They're like a thumbprint. No two are alike. So whatever it is you produce out of your spirit will have your DNA written in it, spiritual or physical. But your pearls, there's a merchant somewhere looking for what's good in that pearl. The Lord spoke to me tonight as I was on my way here and did everything He could to stop me. I'm telling you, at 11 o'clock today, the devil's already telling me, you better cancel. You ain't going to be able to do this. I laid in the bed till nearly 3 o'clock trying to get my everything sucked the sack right out of you. Trying to get my energy built back up. I'm here to tell the devil right now, I got as much energy right now as I had last night, and it ain't got nothing to do with any medication I took. It ain't got nothing to do with anything anybody handed me. It's got to do with the fact that out of that pain came a pearl, and I have let y'all have it tonight. You got pain, and you want God to help you cover that. I don't know why right now. I guess for my own good, my own nerves, I suppose. You got pain? Pray for you. I believe there's some people here know how to get hold of God.
Say it again.
There's some people in here know how to get a hold of God.
Yes.
You got pain? We'll pray. You want a pearl? We'll pray. That pearl that I handed you, I handed different people different amounts of pearls, and the Lord just spoke to me and said there was a reason. So whatever you've got, there's a reason. The next time that the devil's standing in your face, and he will, because you know it's getting to the end of times, and the devil ain't so scared of people no more. And you'll climb up in your face and stand right there in your face and tell you, where do you think you're going? You think I'm going to move and let you pass me? No, I'm just going to go through you. The devil stands up in your face and he tells you, you got an irritation in your mantle? Take that. You look at those little pearls and you remember that inside of you, you've got what it takes to create a priceless gem out of the irritant and what God gave you to cover it, so you don't even know the irritation was ever there. I have a tendency to get a little bit deeper in what I can walk in sometimes. God's a good God.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I mean, if he can give somebody a message